Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Smile and Talk podcast. I'm Mark, and next to me is the one and only Maria. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mark. I've got my warm tea, I've got my microphone, and I'm ready to talk about one of my absolute favorite topics, training your mouth to speak English naturally. But before we start, please help subscribe our channel. It helps us so much.
Exactly, and today's episode is long, deep, practical, and packed with real conversation. We're not giving vocabulary lists, we're not giving grammar charts, we're talking, because talking is the whole point.
Yes, and we're going to keep talking for a long time because many learners tell us, I understand English, but when I open my mouth, nothing comes out. Today, we're going to show you how to fix that live through this long conversation.
Right. And this entire episode is designed to let you hear natural English for a long period of time. So your mouth, your tongue, your brain, your rhythm, everything starts to work together. If you're listening, your mouth is learning even if you're not speaking.
But of course, we encourage people to speak with us. If you're alone, speak out loud. If you're shy, whisper. But do something with your mouth, because if you want to speak English, that's what you must train, your mouth.
Exactly. People think they need to learn more grammar. No, most of the time they need to train the muscle memory. When you say something many times, your mouth remembers it.
Just like singing.
Right. You don't analyze songs, you just sing them. And eventually your mouth knows the melody and words.
So today we're going to talk about everything and anything: life, confidence, daily habits, how learning works, stories from our experiences, and we're going to do it slowly at first, then naturally, then quickly, then slowly again, so listeners experience different rhythms
We want your brain to adapt to real English.
and your mouth to follow.
So, Maria, let's start with something simple. Do you remember the first time you tried speaking a foreign language and felt your mouth just freeze?
Oh, yes. I still remember when I was learning French. I could read everything, I could understand when people spoke slowly, but when it was my turn to speak, my mouth felt like a block of wood. I knew what I wanted to say, but I didn't know how to move my tongue or how to say the sounds quickly.
That's the exact same problem English learners have. They know the sentence, but not the muscle movement needed to say it.
Yes, and the only solution is repetition and exposure. And long, natural conversation like what we're doing now.
So let's keep going. Let's have a big, long, healthy conversation. And listeners, your job is to follow along, repeat, and let the rhythm enter your mouth.
So, Mark, what's on your mind today?
Well, since we're talking about training your mouth to speak, I thought of something funny. When I was a kid, I had trouble pronouncing the word specific.
Oh, that's a hard one for many people.
I used to say Pacific, like the ocean. My mother corrected me every time.
And now?
Now it's easy. But not because I learned the spelling, it's easy because I said it 1,000 times.
Exactly. And that's the approach we want learners to take. Don't think about saying things, just start saying them again and again. But let's go deeper. What stops people from speaking? It's not only the mouth, it's fear.
Yes, fear freezes the brain, and then the mouth shuts down.
But when you talk for a long time, like when you talk with close friends, you forget the fear.
That's why a long conversation like today's episode
is perfect for practice.
By the way, speaking of long conversations, do you remember the longest conversation you ever had in your life?
Oh yeah, it was with my cousin. We once talked for 9 hours straight while traveling by bus.
9 hours? What did you even talk about for 9 hours?
Everything. Dreams, family, hobbies, the future, what scares us, our favorite movies, school, work, just everything.
That's amazing. And that's exactly what we want to help listeners do. When you get used to long conversations, English stops being a subject and becomes a way of expressing your thoughts.
Yes. Think in ideas, not words. Speak in flow, not perfection.
You know, Mark, I always tell learners that speaking English is like going to the gym. If you go once a week, you won't get stronger.
Absolutely. You need repetition, daily training. Even 5 minutes a day is better than 2 hours on Sunday.
And I think people underestimate how physical speaking is. Your lips, jaw, tongue, throat, they all need training.
That's something I learned when I studied speech techniques. The teacher told me, your tongue is lazy. I didn't know tongues could be lazy.
Oh, they can. For English learners, their tongues are used to the sounds of their native language, so English sound patterns feel unfamiliar.
Which is why we're talking continuously today. Listeners, you're getting hours of rhythm, melody, intonation, stress, real phrases, natural flow.
And your mouth is learning even when you don't notice.
Speaking of daily habits, Maria, what's one habit you've built that has helped you speak languages more confidently?
Talking to myself.
Really?
Yes, out loud. At home, in the kitchen, in the shower. I just talk. Like, Maria, what are you cooking today? I think I'll have pasta. No, maybe salad. And I answer myself, like a crazy person.
But it works because you're training your mouth.
Exactly. It's the best free practice in the world.
I do the same thing when preparing podcast episodes. I talk to myself for 15 minutes before recording just to warm up the mouth.
I also love shadowing, listening to something and repeating it instantly.
Oh, yes. Shadowing is the fastest way to build speaking fluency.
You know what else stops people from speaking? The idea that they must be perfect.
Perfection is the enemy of progress.
Yes, when people think I must say everything correctly, they freeze. But when they think I'm just communicating, they relax.
Exactly. And language is for communication, not perfection.
I once had a student who improved dramatically when she stopped worrying. She said, Maria, I just started opening my mouth even when I wasn't sure, and suddenly her fluency exploded.
That's the key. Open your mouth. Let the sentence come out even if you think it sounds strange.
Your mouth only learns from speaking, not thinking.
Maria, do you remember a moment when you were proud of your English progress?
Yes, I remember the first time a native speaker asked me, "Are you from here?" That felt amazing.
That's a great feeling. For me, it was when I started dreaming in another language.
Oh, that's a big milestone. Dreaming is your brain saying, I accept this language now.
Right. But dreaming never happened when I studied silently. It happened only when I talked a lot.
Same for me. The more I spoke, the more natural it became.
Let's give listeners an example of what training your mouth sounds like. We'll do a simple exercise, describing your morning, but we'll do it naturally, not slowly.
I'll start. This morning, I woke up earlier than usual because I wanted to go for a walk before the streets got busy. I made coffee, opened the window, stretched a little bit, and then checked my messages. Nothing special, but it felt peaceful.
See? Natural rhythm. Now I'll go. I woke up, looked at the clock, realized I had 10 more minutes, closed my eyes again, then immediately regretted it because I fell asleep. I rushed out of bed, grabbed my toothbrush, made tea, and got ready as quickly as possible.
Listeners, your job is to describe your morning out loud, even if your pronunciation isn't perfect.
That's how your mouth learns.
Mark, do you think people are too serious when learning English?
Definitely. Learning should be fun. You can talk about food, hobbies, movies, your day, anything.
Yes. You don't need big topics like politics or philosophy to practice English.
Exactly. Even talking about what you bought at the supermarket is great training.
Let's demonstrate. What did you buy last time you went shopping?
Oh, I bought way too many snacks. Chips, chocolate, cookies, everything. I regret it, but I don't.
That's relatable. I bought fruit, vegetables, yogurt, and then chocolate at the end. I always buy chocolate at the end.
Listeners, notice how simple topics make great speaking practice.
Let's talk about something deeper. Identity. Many learners feel like a different person when speaking English.
True. When you switch languages, you switch personalities slightly.
But that's normal. You're using different sounds, different expressions.
And the more you speak, the more your English identity feels natural.
I used to feel shy in English, but now I feel free, expressive, confident. That transformation happens through speaking, not studying.
Mark, how long do you think people need to train their mouth before they feel real change? Honestly, 2 weeks of daily speaking already makes a difference. But real fluency comes after months of consistent practice.
Yes, and consistency is the magic word.
People say, I want fluency fast. I say, speak every day. 5 minutes is enough to start, but you must speak.
I remember when I traveled to Spain and had to speak Spanish nonstop. That was when my speaking truly improved.
Yes. Immersion forces your mouth to move.
And I made so many mistakes, but because I kept talking, I eventually adapted.
Same. When I traveled to Canada, I spoke English all day, every day, even when I didn't want to. And after a while, my mouth stopped fighting the sounds.
Let's talk about pronunciation. People often ask how to improve. My answer, repeat things you hear.
Yes, don't practice pronunciation in isolation. Practice it in phrases.
Exactly. Instead of practicing the word water, practice, can I get some water? Or I need water.
Train your mouth to say phrases, not words. So we were talking earlier about immersion and how travel forced us to speak. But I want to go deeper because a lot of learners say, Mark, I can't travel. I can't move to an English-speaking country. And I always say, you don't need to. Immersion isn't a place. Immersion is a state of mind.
Yes, you can create immersion anywhere, even in a small room, even in your car, even in your kitchen. Immersion happens when you surround yourself with English and use your mouth regularly. It's not about geography, it's about behavior.
Exactly. For example, Think about someone who decides to spend 30 minutes every morning speaking to themselves in English, listening to English podcasts, repeating sentences, thinking out loud. That person is immersed, even if they never leave their hometown.
And that person will progress much faster than the learner who moves to an English-speaking country but avoids speaking, avoids people, avoids opening their mouth.
Yes, because immersion without speaking is just tourism.
Oh, that's a great line. Immersion without speaking is just tourism.
Let me ask you something, Maria. When you were learning English, was there a moment when you felt like your brain switched modes and English became more automatic?
Yes, I remember it clearly. It happened when I started thinking in English on purpose. Not because I was fluent, but because I forced my brain. Whenever I made breakfast, I described everything in English. Cut the bread, open the fridge, pour the milk. Very simple things.
So you built the thinking habit first, not the speaking habit.
Yes, but thinking became speaking. Because after I got used to thinking in English, talking just became the next step.
That's important. People think fluency is a big jump from nothing to speaking. But really, fluency is a gradual process of turning thoughts into sounds.
Yes, and the more your mouth practices the sounds, the easier that connection becomes.
It's funny, people often expect speaking to feel natural immediately. But when you learn a musical instrument, you expect months of awkwardness.
Yes, but with languages, people think, I can understand, so I should speak smoothly. But no, understanding is reading the sheet music. Speaking is playing the instrument.
And your mouth is the instrument.
Exactly. And just like a guitar player trains fingers or a pianist trains hand positions, language learners must train their mouth positions.
I'm glad you said that because English has sounds that don't exist in many languages. The th sounds, the rhythm patterns, the intonation. These things require physical adaptation.
And that's why constant speaking matters. Not studying, not memorizing, not worrying about grammar. Speaking. Saying things out loud. Repeating. Mimicking. Shadowing.
Do you remember your first English teacher?
Yes, Mrs. Peterson. She was strict but kind. She always said, if you want to learn English, your mouth must be brave. I didn't understand what she meant until years later.
Brave mouth. I like that.
She used to make us stand up and repeat one sentence 5 times. We were embarrassed. We felt silly, but she didn't care. And guess what? The students in her class spoke the best English.
Because they practiced out loud.
Yes, out loud, every day.
Nowadays, people study differently. They watch videos, they read articles, they use apps, but the core remains the same. If the mouth doesn't move, there's no progress.
Yes. And sometimes I tell students, you're not learning a language, you're collecting information. And they say, what do you mean? And I say, you're learning about English, not learning to use English.
That's powerful.
Yes, if you're not speaking, you're studying English the way someone studies the history of a country they never visit.
Yes. It's interesting, but it's not practical.
So let's give listeners something fun. How about we each describe something simple in great detail? Like brushing your teeth.
A simple action, but full of vocabulary and rhythm.
Exactly, and listeners can repeat with us or describe their own routine.
Okay, I'll start. Every morning, I walk into the bathroom feeling half awake. I turn on the light, pick up my toothbrush, and put toothpaste on it. I always use too much toothpaste, but that's okay. I start brushing slowly, then faster. I look at myself in the mirror and think, wow, I look sleepy. I rinse my mouth, wash my face, and suddenly I feel alive.
Nice. Now, when I brush my teeth, I always play music. I don't know why, but it helps me wake up. I stand by the sink, move my hair out of the way, put a small amount of toothpaste, not too much, and brush in circles. I rinse, smile at myself, and say, "Good morning." I know it's silly, but it puts me in a good mood.
See? Simple topics create natural speaking practice.
Yes, and no special vocabulary needed.
Let's talk about frustration, because a lot of learners feel stuck. They say, I've studied for years, but I still can't speak.
Yes, and you know what? That's normal. Completely normal.
Fluency is about overcoming stuck moments.
And the best way to overcome stuck moments is to keep talking through them.
I tell students, even if you feel stupid, keep speaking.
I say the same. Fluency begins where comfort ends.
Exactly.
Mark, have you ever felt embarrassed speaking another language?
Oh, yes, many times. Once I tried ordering food in French and accidentally asked the waiter for 2 chickens walking instead of 2 grilled chickens.
That's adorable.
Not for the waiter. He looked confused, like, why does this man want walking chickens?
But that's the beauty of learning. You will make mistakes, strange mistakes, funny mistakes, but every mistake is training.
Yes, mistakes shape your mouth into fluency.
You know, when learners accept mistakes, something magical happens. They stop freezing, their mouth relaxes, their brain relaxes, and then the words start coming out more naturally.
Confidence isn't the result of fluency. Fluency is the result of confidence.
Brilliant, yes. People wait for fluency to feel confident, but confidence must come first.
Let's list not vocabulary, but actions that people can do to train their mouth daily.
Good idea, and we'll keep it conversational.
Okay, here's one. Talk to yourself while walking.
Another, describe what you see around you out loud.
Repeat sentences from movies or podcasts.
Shadow real conversations. Don't pause, speak along with the audio.
Sing English songs, especially ones with clear lyrics.
Tell a story to yourself. Tell it again, then tell it faster.
Practice speaking in the shower. The acoustics are great.
Talk to your pets in English.
Yes, pets are great listeners.
Mark, do you ever narrate your day in your head?
All the time, and sometimes out loud. If someone ever followed me around, they'd think I'm talking to invisible people.
Same. I talk to my plants. I say, "Good morning, little guy. You look thirsty today."
And your plants improve their English?
Oh, definitely. They're basically native speakers.
This is the kind of relaxed, natural speech we want you to practice.
Let's talk about speed, because many learners want to speak fast, but that's not the goal.
Yes, speed is a side effect of comfort.
Speak slowly first, clearly, comfortably. Then speed naturally increases.
Exactly. Rushing doesn't help the mouth learn.
And you know what? Speaking English should feel fun, like play, like exploration.
Yes. Not like a test.
When you relax, your mouth relaxes. When your mouth relaxes, your pronunciation improves.
And your fluency grows.
So, listeners, your mission is simple. Speak every day. Don't wait. Don't hesitate.
Don't let fear control your mouth.
Speak imperfectly.
Speak bravely.
Speak naturally.
Speak frequently.
And your mouth will transform.
This is how you train your mouth to speak English.
Not someday,
Not next year,
not when you're ready.
but now.